Boom. All right, 3, 2, 1. What is happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Here the Spear, presented to you by Null Game Day. We are here on this awesome Thursday evening once again. We're staying on a good streak here. We're doing a good job. We're trying to. But tonight, I actually got a special guest with us this evening before I introduce the rest of the co-hosts with me. We've got 2024 running back commit Kam Davis in the house with us. Good evening, man, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Before we jump, we've been excited to have you on. You're a busy guy. You also got baseball going on. You're a dual sport athlete, so definitely happy to have you on and get these things rolling and talk about a lot of the visits that you've been doing at Florida State, Mike Norvell, the staff, the 2024 class, along with the classes ahead of you, because you're still a youngster. You don't look so young, but you're still a youngster. So we got a lot to talk about. Before we jump into that interview, I'm going to introduce the co-hosts with us this evening. Austin Veazey, as always, our lead basketball writer up there at the top. D-Lou is back with us after taking a break last week. He was feeling sickly. He's with us this evening, lead writer and editor. And then also lead recruiting insider. Hooked us up with the Kam Davis interview, Nate Greer, down below. Gentlemen, how are y'all doing?
What's up? Yeah, the main reason I was gone last week is I had to get this thing set up, and it's pretty sophisticated. I'm sure it sounds pristine, though.
Oh, it sounds 10 times better. I think the listeners are going to love it. We're slowly getting the audio, the video all enhanced before kickoff in September. Nate, how are we doing? The audio and the video is looking great on your end. We're really amping it up here. And now Nate just left us. Right when I say that, Nate is gone from the whole streaming setup. So there we go. Things are not going fully correct. But you know what? What's going correct? We've got Kam on here, and I think we should go ahead and jump into a little bit of this. So, Kam, just tell us about what you've been up to lately. Obviously, you've got baseball going on, and you're a dual sport athlete, like I was saying earlier. So you also got football and spring football that you just went through. So just tell us about your schedule and what you've got going on this summer.
This summer I'm just really working, getting my craft and stuff together. So I've been going 5-hour practices and stuff with football, then turning back around in the morning time, 9 to 11 with band practice and baseball. So right now I got a busy schedule. I don't plan on going out and doing anything because I'm not like a person that like to go out all the time. So I'm just working all summer and getting ready for the season and stuff that's coming up.
What are some things during this offseason that you're working on? Is some of the Florida State staff talking with you, maybe some things heading into this upcoming season that they're wanting you to work on, really, in particular?
Just a lot of leadership skills, being able to control the offense since I'm playing quarterback at high school. Have to have a lot of leadership out in quarterback. So I've been working a lot with my IQ, knowing coverages and reading different defenses and leading the team to get through 2-minute drills and big times that I have to come through to make plays that any other person wouldn't make. But that's just Coach Norvell been steady talking to me about academics too. So I've been hard on my academics. I've been taking extra credit and stuff. So that's all I've been working on this summer, going into the season and the next school year.
You know, you've already been on campus a couple times in June. I think we should just start off with Midnight Madness. So you and the other commits and a couple different classes and some top targets as well were all there on midnight, right when the dead period finally was lifted up. So just what was that experience like?
It was amazing opening up the dead period after years. So it was a great experience being able to get with other commits and bigger classes. So a lot of the guys that came and talked to me saying that even though I'm young, that's the place I want to be there. It wasn't a bad decision. And it was just a decision on being able to focus on high school right now. So being able to go there that night with all of the other commits and big-time recruits was just special to me because it's a dream come true already, but it's still a lot more to come. So I'm just ready to collab with a lot of the guys and put in some work with them on the field together.
Yeah, what was that like whenever, I guess Mike Norvell was the one, and of course staff members too, were orchestrating that whole event, and we didn't see a lot of other colleges doing that, and Mike Norvell seemed to be kind of the main orchestrator of this and having this idea go through. He had the new whip that he brought out there inside Doak Campbell Stadium at like 1 a.m. But, was he in contact with you, or, some of the staff members, coaching staff members talking with you, getting you situated for coming in Tallahassee that night? Did you have like a week kind of, I don't know how to say it, kind of little thing ahead so you would know?
Yes, sir. Coach Woodson and Coach Norvell, they always in contact. Like, I called them every 3 days, twice a week, anything like that. So I kept in contact with them a lot. They're great coaches. The vibe with that is just different. And it was a big determination that determined my commitment and stuff. So the energy that Coach Mike Norvell brings out and the focus that he has is just something that every player should want and think about when they come down to coaching and the next level.
Wondering what the energy was like in there. Kind of run us through what a visit looks like with this staff. What's energy? What is there music playing? You got photo shoots going on. Where are they taking you? Are you having one-on-one meetings? Are you looking at film? What it kind of take us through a whole visit scenario there with Mike Norvell and the staff?
When you first get out the car, walk on campus, the energy just set in. Like, all the coaches there surround us, they're ready for you to come in, shaking hands. Once you take photo shoots, you have loud music, and it's just an environment to where everybody's hyped up. Everybody want to hop in pictures and strike poses. So it's like family up there. So during the visits, all the coaches, they're yelling out the places and statues and all of that, and they're also joking and playing with you as you go. But at the same time, they know that it's a business trip, so they take a lot of respect and they hold all their players accountable. So it's just all that coming to the energy and the vibe there.
One of the flashy things that we saw Coach Norvell unveil at Midnight Madness was the slingshot. So, we saw him get to drive a couple recruits around. And did you get your chance?
No,
did
sir.
you get a ride in it?
That's a pretty car. I think car is worth it. No, sir.
It looks pretty sweet, and from what we were told, Norvell spent his own money there. It didn't go into the recruiting budget, so I think, and you could speak on it too, Cam, but it seems like Norvell is really working his tail off, obviously on the recruiting front, and it shows how bought in he is. And I wonder if that reflects on his recruiting pitch for guys like you and guys also in your 2024 class, 2023, and the big one right now with 2022 moving forward. Like how that kind of reflects him as a coach right now, because he's really dialed in and he's been working his tail off, it seems like, on this recruiting trail. And you're a 2024 guy, but he's hard after you too.
It strikes a lot of attention into players' eyes, because not many coaches in college football, high school, even Little League, not many coaches have that kind of dedication to it. They're not only just focused about the kids, they focus on their own life and the things that they can do that will make student athletes look at them as a great coach. Coach Norvell, he does a lot, not just about the sports. He does a lot about academics, because the first thing he took us to on Midnight Madness was the graduation site, and that was the most important thing that I looked at that night, because it shows that he is not just about sports all the time. He wants student athletes to get that education first. So that brings a lot to the table with him and the recruitment process, because they have to look at the things bigger than sports which is life and education.
Nate, do you want to go ahead with a few on your end?
So I got a couple questions. So first, you being a 2024 kid, how much do you get asked, why you committed so early, and do you get asked if you at some point are going to reconsider your decision? So how locked in are you to FSU?
I get asked that all the time. Like, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an everyday thing almost. People hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, in person. They ask all the time what made me commit, and I always tell everybody the energy, the coaches, the fan base, and that's the part of life. Like, other people can't control what I do. So I just always stay humble and do what I have. Everybody always asks or say I'm going to end up decommitting, but I feel like whatever makes me happy is what's going to make me happy. So only time will tell what decision will be made.
Now you are, a dual sport. Baseball is, something that you are also getting recognized for. Talk a little bit about that. Have you talked to Coach Martin over at Florida State, or is baseball something that you're going to pursue in college, or are you going to go strictly to the football route when you get to that level?
Can you say it one more time?
I was asking, you being a two-sport threat, you also play baseball at a high level. Have you talked to Florida State about playing baseball in college? Is that something that you want to do, or are you focus solely on football? Once you get into college.
Yes, sir. I talked to Coach Norvell and Coach Metcalf, and we all came into an agreement that I would be able to play baseball too. So that was just another big factor in admitting so early too, because not schools allow athletes to play both two sports at one time. So that was just a big turnaround into the commitment. So that's what I really focus on, sports.
So, who do you compare yourself to? You got a lot of size for your age. You run really hard. You're a big guy. You what, 6 foot already? So, who do you compare yourself as a running back to? Like, who do you try to model your game after?
My boy Davin Cook, he's a very polished running back. I'd be the biggest guy, but his heart and his effort is just unbelievable. He make quick cuts. He have great IQ, and his cutback vision, turnaround speed is just. And I compare myself to him because I feel like my cuts, my juke moves and stuff is as sharp as his, and I can be just as good as him, or maybe. So I look at him as my idol running back.
I'm going to ask you, Cam. Your recruitment, you're still young, and like you were saying earlier, the decision that is made, and when you put that pen to paper, that's still so far away. What are some other schools that are heavily after you right now, competing with Mike Norvell and the rest of the Florida State staff?
Georgia Tech, Georgia, and Tennessee are the top 3 schools that are trying to get flipped, but I don't think, as of right now, and the way that I'm loving Florida State, those 3 schools won't be able to turn me around with the way that Coach Mike Norvell and Coach Wilson and the coaching staff love the way that the stuff that I do.
I'm going to ask too, during your visits, I gotta ask it. I love uniforms, and Florida State revealed a new kind of mock-up white helmet. What is your favorite uniform combination to go with? Because we've seen a lot of recruits coming through. They're posting the photos on IG and Twitter, but what would be probably your go-to combo?
It's not all white is basic, but the way that it white hands out, so really just and the garment and go is it's not just the two rare colors that's very common. It's two rare colors. The all white is my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the all white seems to be a favorite on the photo shoots, along with also the fans too. Whenever they're wearing that on the road during road games, but yeah, that new white helmet is looking pretty sleek right now.
And it's really early on in the 2024 class, but you've already got yourself and Landon Thomas, who you're pretty familiar with, already committed in this class. So what are you guys trying to build Tribe 24 into with, such a head start? Almost 3 years until you sign. So you guys have a long time to work on this class.
We try to take it back to 22 and 23 class. So and we've been talking and we also have group chats and stuff with other big athletes.
It might be breaking up, Cam. If you want to turn off your video, it might work a little bit smoother for you. I think it's kind of skipping out a little bit. There we go. That might help a little bit. Uh-oh, we might have lost him. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Everybody else is silent too on the show. But yeah, it seems like Cam, I think we might have lost him. I'm going to join back.
I'm just muting my mic so people don't complain about the background noise,
Oh, yeah, that's right. The iTunes are after you.
Yeah,
iTunes people are after you.
Me, man. Try to keep it quiet,
We're gonna get those 1-star ratings if one of the someone's cooking in the kitchen.
Man,
yeah, wash the dishes later.
Yeah, well, I got to wash the dishes at 10:30 now.
Yeah,
but
no,
I feel like Cam, he's probably still trying to be in here, but I thought it was pretty interesting of Cam coming through and talking about the other schools that are after him, but the significant part of Mike Norvell sort of kind of locking him down at the moment, and it's the main part of it being that energy that the staff is bringing right now.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I wanted to ask him was kind of something we talked about last week, was just the ability of the staff to connect with these players. And, I wanted to get his opinion on that too. And I think that's going to be tough to beat. I can't speak for Cam and, what his thoughts are and how things are going to, look in 2024. But, you look at, what Florida State's done so far, and getting a guy that clearly had just a killer freshman season and athletically is gifted to already be considered a high profile, Major League Baseball target already. So, athletically, he fits what Florida State likes, but I think it's going to be tough for coaches to, I don't want to say do better than Norvell, but do better than Norvell and the staff and how they're recruiting right now. So, I just think that, 3 years of the same relationships would be tough to beat.
That's a big boy. What he's at, about around 6 foot right now, probably nearing 200. I think in his last couple of photos that he's been visiting at Florida State, this one that he's been sharing, he definitely looks like he's nearing that 200-pound mark. He looks to me more of like the build of almost like a Leonard Fournette at his age kind of build. I don't know. What is there? Is there someone that you maybe compare him to?
Not right now. I mean, he's definitely very, physically mature for his age. I'm interested to see how he develops. I just think that, he does have, for as big as he is, he does have, a very good ability to, as he kind of alluded to, his cuts and his ability to juke, and he is faster than you think. So, I can kind of see the Dalvin comparison and like how, the running style wise, but he is built like Fournette is, very, stocky throughout, just evenly. He's very evenly proportioned as a, freshman.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you're, kind of like you are, with your 50-year-old woman legs.
Big and strong, huge calves as a horse.
They usually are underdeveloped.
Underdeveloped.
And they're, usually their base is the last to kind of get developed. So kind of like you, they're underdeveloped and they have to work on that part. So.
Yeah, so you're just saying that Kam Davis is like light years ahead of me already, and he's 15 years old.
I would say that's a very fair thing to say. Would you agree, Dustin? Austin, I would agree with that, right?
100%. Logan's soft. We all know it.
Yeah, we all know that. So
he's got woman legs.
Yes, 50-year-old woman legs.
Oh my god! Meanwhile, we're still getting updates here on this race that I'm doing with Los. We're trying to get some. I messaged him. I tagged him in an IG story the other day on Monday. I was out there doing a little couple sprints.
Nice.
We're trying to set something up. He told me when. I said in August. Haven't heard a response yet, and that's how it usually goes. And plus, he's not on here tonight for us to discuss it. So,
I was about to say he's got to show up on the podcast where he can race.
Yeah, I know. He's got
a requirement.
So here's a big trend right now that we've got the NG here, the spear curse. So everybody's been tweeting us saying that we're not allowed to have any commits on anymore after Altmaier. You've got Nico, Markiol, and you got McGowan's on the basketball side.
Yeah, but we had Jalen Worley too. He's stuck.
Yeah, we've got the majority of Knowles that have stuck.
I guess it's good Omar didn't come on tonight.
I think Cam's trying to get back in here. I believe so.
It's just the big names that have been killing us.
Mm-hmm. Cam, are you able to hear us now? And it's fine if it's not working.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Okay, perfect. Nate, go through what you were saying there that you wanted to ask him, and we'll kind of finish it off here.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, both Dustin and I talk to a lot of recruits, and something we hear a lot is the staff's ability to really connect with recruits. The way that they're recruiting is a lot of energy, very, very hands-on and very aggressive. Let's just call it aggressive. They are coming after it very hard on the recruiting trail, but they're also, very focused on the off-field part of you guys as recruits. So can you talk a little bit about how I guess I won't say easy it is, or how it's been easy for you to connect with this coaching staff, and do you kind of see that too? We hear a lot about Norvell's ability, in person as a presenter and as a speaker. Is that what you see too, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. I believe I would say that his in-person aggressiveness is a lot more aggressive than his through the phone and FaceTime and stuff like that, because I believe that he can express more of it when he's in person by showing and shaking people's hands and stuff like that, because Coach Norvell, he has a lot of energy in person. Like he get to see you and see how you react to certain stuff that he say, your body language and all of that kind of stuff. So his energy basically feeds off of the people energy that he's talking to, because through you really can't tell or determine how a person is really acting or trying to say stuff to you, because people can have any kind of body language through the phone, but when it comes down to in person, you have to show a great body language no matter what. And when he does that all the time, and he always keep players up, so that's his aggressiveness in person is a lot more aggressive than on the phone as far as recruiting and just his energy by itself.
Cam, do y'all have a group chat going on right now? I don't know. I mean, the 2024 class is small. You got you and another partner, but is there a kind of connection between the 2022 class and also the 2023 class? And is there anybody that you're currently working on bringing into the tribe with you?
Yes, sir. We currently have a group chat with just 2024 players that have offers, but we had a group chat with all of the 2020 through 2024 class, but I believe it got deleted because of some stuff that was said or going on in it. But the 2024 class right now, I'm working on trying to get Stacey Gay and Walt Claire from out of Atlanta. So right now, those are my top two targets, and I've been talking to them two the most. So those are the two people that me and Landon are working on right now.
Sweet deal.
And, we've heard your thoughts on committing so early in the process to Florida State, but what did your family think about you making your decision so early?
They were pretty laid back and chill about it, because they looked at when I broke it down to them and explained everything and all of my thinking and stuff that was going on. They was like, that's a great decision, because now you don't have to worry about, in the upcoming year, you don't have to worry about college and high school. I can just focus on high school until the time comes. So they really didn't get too riled up about the decision. And my parents and a lot of my family, they love Florida State. So when I told them that I wanted to commit, and when I told Coach Norvell, everybody was fired up, and it was just a lot of congrats and thanks going around.
Absolutely. Anything more, Nate, from you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been hit on. Did we already talk about the simple question of why he committed? What about Florida State was it for him?
Kind of, but if you want to go through that to kind of finish it off, Cam, why, what really sold the deal for you to commit to Mike Norvell and FSU? What really did it? Was it the war chant, getting to see kind of what that feeling is whenever you go visit this upcoming year? I'm sure going to visit during the Notre Dame game, if that's on your agenda, that's going to be a wild time. But really, what sold you? There's a lot of good things about Tallahassee and college football, but now with COVID-19 kind of dwindling off from us, we're going to get back to regular life. So you get to go visit and actually be there and experience a sold out Doak Campbell Stadium, which a lot of recruits haven't been able to see yet with this new staff. But tell us, really why you committed.
The biggest reason why I committed so early was the fan base and just the decision making of what I have coming up in life and stuff, and being able to sports. And not only that, Florida State is a great two-sport school, having Deion Sanders, Jameis Winston, those kind of guys coming out of the program. It really made me look that, like, Florida State is a school that conduct two-sport athletes into the league very well, and they always end up making it out, being some of the top athletes in the league somewhere, whether it was baseball, football, basketball, no matter what. So just the fan base and the way that they conduct the student athletes was the major factors of why I committed so early. Being able to see the crowd the last couple of years when we was able to come to games. Like, I've been to probably 10 Florida State games in the past 4 years, and I know what it looks like for the stands to be full and packed, tailgate and all that, and it's just different up there in Tallahassee.
I think there's some great reasons in that. I think the fan base is also going to love you for that answer. So definitely appreciate you jumping on here with us this evening, a little late this evening, and out of your crazy schedule with baseball going on, and you're still training with football and whatnot after spring football going on. So definitely appreciate you
Yes, sir.
hanging out with us on the show this evening. We'll definitely stay in touch.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate you. So I think Nate leaves with Cam.
I didn't even get to say bye.
You didn't even get to say bye. You got to work a better relationship with Cam, obviously. He's too busy for you. I was saying earlier. There's a sound. Yeah,
you're like a fan.
Yeah,
you're a fan, honestly. It's hot in here. Sorry.
You're in a closet. Get out of the closet, Austin.
Okay.
You're in a closet. That is a closet.
Okay.
Who puts their? You've got shoes around there.
Yeah, it's a shoe wall.
Okay, I like the NG sticker you got back there, though.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to the group. Kam Davis has a 10 times lower voice than Dustin. I mean, God almighty. He's 15 years old.
Same to you, bro. Like, he's got a 10 times lower voice than all of us.
Don't try to lower it now.
Not just me.
I think he's even lower than Nate's voice.
Are you listening to music now?
Nate's like 50, so
50? No.
Not 50?
43.
Yes, Pudwacker. Yes, I am.
Oh, wow. That was a good guess.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, Cam, that was awesome. I was glad to have him on here. We were supposed to have Omar Graham on here, but that sadly couldn't happen tonight. Some things had to come up.
Those are the kids Florida State needs to recruit, period. Like, you can tell the kid's very mature for his age. He's athletically gifted and he's a worker. Sometimes you see kids that age are maybe maxed out. I don't think you see that with him. Two-sport guy, he's been actively recruiting not just his class like Dustin was talking about, but also 22, 23 kids. So he's definitely, what this program needs to continue to, build upon and get back to that upper echelon. So, sky's the limit for that kid.
Mm-hmm. There's a question on here before we jump into the quick hitters. This is from Georgia Ron. What's the backup plan for wide receiver 5-star Kevin Coleman? I know his dad wants Alabama badly, but is there anybody else at Florida State is currently looking at wide receiver in that class?
I don't think there's a need for a backup plan.
Oh. Easy answer. Is that an easy answer from you too, D-Lou?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys, but I think they've got to be feeling good about where they stand with Coleman, especially, after the news that was floating around today where he's not going to be taking a visit to Alabama this summer. So in my opinion, that's a pretty big development. But
also too, just, call me stupid. A lot of people do, that's fine. But, they really haven't been offering or targeting a lot of other receivers. That would kind of tell you how they feel if they continue to really go after kids or pursuing kids. I think they feel good where they're at with Mortimer. I think they like him. And then I think they feel really good with Coleman. So I think what you see is a confident staff, as soon as the dead period was lifted, where was he at first? So
going to a current commit that just happened on Father's Day, linebacker Omar Graham Jr. picked the Seminoles, commits to FSU in that 2022 class out of that South Florida area. it's a pretty big one here. I know that Dustin, you were very close in contact with him, and you got that commitment interview. Tell us how that went. Tell us about the interview there, and that pickup for the Noles.
Yeah, so I mean, really, I've been communicating with Omar ever since he got the offer from FSU back in January, and just been talking to him ever since throughout his recruitment. And to me, it always seemed like it was going to be FSU in the end, as long as things went well when he got on campus. And that's exactly what happened earlier this month. Whenever he came in for his official visit, he was blown away by being able to meet the coaching staff in person and go through that experience. And that was when he decided to go ahead and make things official. He told the coaching staff on the official visit. But the thing that kind of surprised me was when we were doing the interview, he told me that he had actually been silently committed to Florida State for the last 2 or 3 months. So I thought that was a significant development. So some of the guys have known that he's going to be coming in for a while. And, really it was just those relationships with the coaching staff and where he fits into the system that sold him on Florida State. And, he's locked in. He might take a couple of visits during the fall, but he says it's gonna take something big to sway him away from Florida State. So this is a big pickup.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to Miami fans, you just kind of fell in Florida State's lap, right? But we talked about him last week. He's a good fit for what they want to do on defense. So I don't really see him swaying or changing his decision, visits or not. So
yeah, that's one thing I forgot to even bring up. On the official visit, he actually came with his dad and his aunt, and his dad is a Miami fan and had been talking to Omar and trying to get him interested in Miami throughout the process. And during this visit, he got a chance to talk to Emmett Rice and some members of the coaching staff, and they really sold his family on him going to Florida State. And now his dad just says, "I'll be a fan of wherever you go."
Yeah, I think he's a great addition to that class. And for him being silently committed, which we were hearing those things early since last spring, that there was some some players that were committed silently, and it seems that he was one of them. And so it's crazy for 3 months, and then he decides to make that thing official. So good grab there. And Chris Marv gets a guy. He put him on the board. A lot of people were complaining and giving him a hard time. Marvin Jones, Chris Marv gets one on the board. Moving on to the next guy, I thought this was something pretty interesting before we jump into some more recruiting. I mean, it kind of is in the same range, but Marvin Jones Jr. Visited unofficially most recently. I loved this picture, though, that his mom shared, and I thought this was something pretty significant here to me, and we talked about it on the Mark Rogers show last night about this interesting picture. So obviously Miami would love to have him on board. They're going to recruit him heavily. I mean, a lot of schools are, but for this, you don't usually see another recruit doing this, in my opinion. You don't usually see it'd be like a player that FSU is after, and they're over there in Gainesville and they're snapping the spear over their knee. You don't usually see that kind of thing, but I thought this was pretty unique of him being down in that area and doing the upside down U, and it seemed like he enjoyed his visit just a tad. I'm sure you love it, Nate.
No, I love it. It's great to see. I don't think Miami is necessarily that much of a threat as other schools are, though. I'm pretty sure. I think his mom went there. But it could be wrong, but I don't think they're the threat that an Ohio State or Alabama would be. But I think that's just a fan in him coming out, being around Florida State for so long. So that might have to be my new Twitter profile picture for a little bit.
I think it's hilarious. You don't usually see that as much, and the fact that we heard a lot of good things about that visit and how it went down, and then, he was number one priority while there, as he should be. This picture that his mom shared, I think, and he allowed mom to tweet it, did perfectly. And we also saw that mom was also tweeting, saying, "Hey, FSU fans, where you at? Let me hear you." And so it seems like things went very well for him and the family on that visit. The picture just perfect way to end it off.
Yeah. It was huge to go ahead and get him on campus, not too long after the dead period was lifted, just because we weren't sure at first if he was going to be able to make it. And, this is a huge visit, and I think it sets Florida State up for where they want to be with his official visit coming in the fall.
And when you're live, you get awesome things like these responses to Miami fans too. So you get some good content here if you ever watch us live and you're not just on the podcast. But some good stuff going on here whenever you're on Twitter and the comments. What's the latest? Florida State's got a big weekend ahead with recruiting once again. Got about nine official visitors heading into Tallahassee this upcoming weekend. Some big ones, including one that we'll get into, which he's making his decision on July 3rd with Quashon Sapp, 4-star offensive lineman that FSU is heavily after. But go kind of through these names, D. Lou, and some things that you're hearing on this, because another big weekend for Mike Norvell and company. No sleeping again.
Yeah, so I'll just read off the list that we have down. So like you said, 9 official visitors. Defensive lineman Trevion Williams is already on campus. He arrived today. So the guys that'll be arriving tomorrow are tight end Jarrell Powers, offensive lineman Kanaya Charlton, offensive lineman Quashon Sapp, offensive lineman Jalen Early, offensive lineman Emory Jones, offensive lineman Antavius Woody, defensive lineman Bishop Thomas, and linebacker Jerron Willis, who, as everyone knows, committed to Georgia Tech a couple weeks ago. This will be his first trip to Florida State since making that commitment to the Yellow Jackets. So a lot of talent going to be in Tallahassee this weekend, especially on the offensive line. You mentioned Sapp, and there's a couple other guys who I think could be leaning Florida State's way, and including Kanaya Charlton and Bishop Thomas. So we'll have to see how these visits go.
Yeah, Quashon Sapp is a big one, and he's going to be announcing on July 3rd, so next weekend. And this is a big boy. This is a 4-star offensive lineman. This would be Florida State's second edition as a 4-star on that front. This is going to be a pretty big one. You get that. I believe this should be the last visit for Sapp, D-Lou, before he makes his decision. I'm unsure if he's going to be making any other visits beforehand. I don't think that would be the case, but FSU is able to get the last visit from Sapp here.
Yeah, he's officially visited all of the other schools in his top 4 leading up to this weekend, and this will be his last visit, and then he'll take a couple days and then make that decision. What is it, next Saturday? Yeah, next Saturday.
Yep, next Saturday, the day before July 4th. So Florida State fans might be celebrating with some fireworks, and for 2 reasons. With anybody in Tallahassee is going to celebrate a talented offensive lineman picking the Seminoles, and Coach Atkins seemed to be on a good roll here on this offensive line group, because you're looking at Alou Ball also, who's already committed to the Seminoles, and he's been moved up in the rankings per 247 Sports to a 4-star. Georgia's also heavily after him. This unit right now seems to have a bright future. Nate's been talking about it on the Mark Rogers Show and also on this podcast. This offensive line and the recruiting mojo that they have, the momentum is really coming together.
Well, I mean, you look at this weekend, 5 official visitors on the offensive line. I believe 4 out of the 5 are 4-stars on 247. So you're not just bringing in bodies, you're bringing in talented offensive linemen that are interested in this program. And, these are a couple guys. I mentioned Charlton and Sapp, and also Antavius Woody, who we've heard some things about. I want to get an interview with him after his trip to see how that goes. But Jalen Early and Emory Jones, they're both, I would say, maybe long shots at this point, or guys that might be a step too far for Florida State, but getting them on campus for this official visit to meet the coaching staff in person and just be able to experience Florida State. These are the kind of things that you have to do in the summer to start making up ground in these recruitments, and then hopefully get them back on campus in the fall to experience a game day atmosphere.
Who do you think right now for SAP is the main competitor? Which other schools is it? Florida, primarily, that Florida State's having to combat with and bringing in SAP into the fold?
So yeah, it looks, if I remember correctly, his top 4 is FSU, UF, Cincinnati, and Georgia.
Yep.
I remembered correctly.
Look at you. You are smart.
Sounds like he had a really good time on that Cincinnati visit. But, that said, I just don't see Cincinnati landing a guy that schools like FSU, Georgia, and Florida would all want. So I would say the main competition, at least in my opinion, is probably UF, because he's had a couple good visits there and really is connected with the coaching staff. But that's the importance of FSU being able to get this last visit. So leaving FSU, this is the visit that he's going to remember the most, and he's got a great relationship with the coaches here. So we'll just have to see how it goes over this weekend.
Do we know if Travis Hunter's coming in town this upcoming weekend? Do we know of that?
I don't know if he is.
It would be unofficial, but I'm wondering if I just keep on thinking about Mike Norvell and the tools that he's using to recruit, and Travis Hunter is by far one of them.
Maybe he'll make a surprise appearance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Norvell sends the chopper for Hunter to get him over for the weekend with all those guys being in town. Send the slingshot over for Hunter to get in town, because that is a huge tool. And bringing some guys in and sealing the deal. It seems like it's worked with a few of them so far. But the guy to keep an eye on here is Quashawn Sapp, and see how that visit goes this weekend. D-Lou and Nate will keep you guys fully updated with a lot of these visits going on this weekend. Make sure you guys are in the Discord. You guys can join at patreon.com/NoleGameDay, and they're giving insider news and nuggets and quotes. It's been a crazy month. Go ahead.
Last thing you should do, since you're pulling up all these tweets, pull up a picture of Trevion Williams. Like, pull up his Twitter or something.
Yeah.
This kid is massive.
Let me do that. Tell us about Trevion Williams while I search.
He's really, he's a guy that just kind of recently emerged on FSU's board, offered earlier this month at one of the camps that they held on campus, and they've been really, really impressed by him. So I believe this is either his second or third visit to campus. This is going to be the official visit. But a guy out of Mississippi, both the in-state schools are interested, and, we saw how that worked out personally with Luke Altmaier, really close with us. So we've seen how the Mississippi schools can win out in the end. But that said, Florida State going to give it their best shot. And, this kid, he's the guy you want walking first off the bus. He's that type of guy.
Yeah, I'm fine. I know what tweet you're talking about from earlier today. I'm just not able to find it in time, but I've got a picture here that will definitely do it justice. Yeah, this will work. This is from 247 Sports. You can see on here the size that this cat has. That looks like, I know exactly who it is. I'm 2 weeks in a row on missing names in the NFL. But hold up. Redskins. Come on, Austin.
You're not talking about Montez Sweat, right?
No. I can't believe I'm missing this name, dude. I really need football to come back. Need the chat to help me here. How am I losing this name? Thank you, Chase Young. He's got the size of Chase Young. Yeah, this looks like I was going to say mini Chase Young, but this might be like a junior Chase Young. This breed is something else. Nate, what do you think about Trevion Williams, 4-star defensive lineman in that size right there?
I want him in the class, man. You know, he showed out at camp. Great size. At a position of need, so you know, bring it on.
Nice to have you back, Nate. Got the you got a call center there too?
Yeah, man. I'm multifunctional here.
Oh, Jesus. You got a restaurant in there?
No,
You got
my kids are going to learn the struggle of a house phone. You know, so,
you still got a house phone in 2021?
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. Why not?
Oh my God. We are worried. I'm worried about you, Nate. I find it amazing you're on here with this technology.
No, right.
There, I said I have my comparison here to Chase Young, at least that build wise.
No, I don't know if I go that far.
Look how big this kid is.
He's huge, but he's not 6'8".
Well,
yoked up like Chase Young is.
Well, nobody's really 6'8", but if I don't know who else to really kind of compare it to. I like making comparisons, and looks like a little Chase Young.
He definitely fits, what you're looking for. He's this kid's needed, especially with Kelly still, working trying to get him back in the fold. Him opposite of Jones would be, a very, very, very good bookends for the defensive line moving forward. So,
this is a quick one here. I think we talked about it last week, Nate, on here, but the kind of possibility of Florida State landing the offensive lineman from Oklahoma with Stacey Wilkins, I think that's kind of dwindled down, if I'm correct.
I haven't heard much about him. So, but we also we're here. Kane Madden was locked in up until that Notre Dame recruitment started. So things can change on a dime, but I haven't heard much. And apparently he has some lingering knee issues. So I don't know if Florida State's going to really pursue that.
Maybe if it's the complete opposite of what went down, what came out in Florida State, and all the fans tweeting it, maybe you just got to do the opposite, and Wilkins just shows up to campus and signs on the dotted line.
Hopefully, he has a preferred walk-on if he's got the knee injuries. No offense,
Mm-hmm. Next thing on here that I wanted to bring up was Jashawn Corbin video of him squatting 445 pounds twice. I mean, I love my workout videos. I can never get enough of them. But video here.
Austin doesn't look too excited.
Yeah, Austin can close.
It makes no sense.
Austin's supposed to close his eyes this time. He said during the production meeting he's so tired of workout videos. You need to get back to selling shoes.
When are we going to get a video of you squatting, Logan?
He's too scared. He doesn't want to show off his legs.
I know you're training for this race.
They don't have big enough cameras for this. I got to get a wide angle. This is a tall angle. I can't get all the plates on there. This is probably I'd probably slap on at least a 25 to this at least, and you probably wouldn't be able to see it.
Was that a full 90 degrees?
Let's see. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's like 1 degree off.
Oh, yeah. Dustin Lewis, the workout coach, trainer, squatting coach.
Logan, so you be that guy who puts all that weight on the bar in the gym, puts those catchers, way up high. Because when you go down, that thing's going forward.
Not at all. Not at all. I was coached to go below 90 or tap my ass on the bench.
I don't think you could ever squat anything close than that.
No, not 445, but 500. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I hate you.
No, but this is pretty good. This is impressive. Obviously, a guy that's came off of a knee injury, squatting this this amount, I think, is pretty impressive. But just good to see couple workout videos to get Austin all riled up. He's got NBA to look for. Oh, it's already happened. 9:30. Terence Mann. Any update? How's Terence Mann looking? 30 minutes into the game.
I haven't looked yet because I've still got the stats from his game 6 pulled up. So.
Oh my, Austin is not a real.
I'm trying to
Terrence
somewhat
Mann.
pay attention. I'm sorry.
Oh man, and then I wanted to go over this real quick. I tweeted a video of Jameis Winston working out. First of all, does anybody? Why are you shaking your head, Dustin?
It's been getting a lot of hate.
Yeah, I got a lot of. They went around nationally and.
Yeah.
Got trolled. My mentions are still going on. It's not so pretty, but my man is working out. He's working his ass off. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent drill to me. I mean, played football and.
I mean, the purpose of it is to keep our eye downfield and keep your hand on the ball. You know,
and keep your feet moving.
The idea of it. Yep. Especially for a guy, who, is called what it is in the NFL, has had some fumbling issues. So, I understand the drill. Keeping everything downfield, keeping that ball up high. I think it's a drill that works, and I think it's real. You got people at your feet. You got people falling at you. You got people swinging at you. So why is that getting made fun of or mocked? I think that's a drill that's true to that position.
That's how it always has been with Jameis since beginning in the NFL and him not having so great of years. But any kind of way to make fun of him and get that kind of publicity for Jameis, and then we'll talk about Marcus Mariota all the time. Oh my God, he's one of the best college football players. Or Johnny Manziel, both players that have no kind of contention of being starters next year, nor is one even going to be on the damn field of any field.
Both won't be on the field next year.
No, I mean, Mariota will be sitting his ass down on a bench, but you've got a guy that's going to be fighting for a starting job, which I do think he's going to get. I don't think he gets signed that much amount. You don't get that much in a contract without you have a starting spot.
Manziel's going to be doing lines somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, I was going to say the only field he's going to be seeing is the one right in front of him with a table of snow. Snow lines going skiing for Johnny Manziel. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting to bring up. Jameis always getting hate and stuff on workout videos. And, this man, I believe him. When we were at the Kenny Shaw camp, I do think he's working out more than any other quarterback in the country, in the league.
Well, hopefully it proves to help him get that starting spot, because I think he's got something to prove for sure.
This is a pretty good question, Nate, on here regarding some recruiting. Is a Kamari Wilson 5-star safety a realistic get at this point, or Kevin Coleman? So talk about Kamari Wilson. There was a lot of talk about him visiting. He did a little photo shoot there. Is he kind of just doing this visit just for the fun of it?
So, like I said last week, Florida State's doing a good job at IMG. I think that they will be a part of the recruitment. I just don't think that any school other than Georgia is going to land them.
Yeah.
I think that's just that prohibitive of a favorite. I think Florida State will get him back on campus. I think that he may even take an official visit, but I don't think that Florida State's going to land him. But they had done a great job at IMG over the last 3 to 4 months, and I think that's going to carry over to a lot of those recruits that are over at that school. So, but I don't think it's realistic. I think Florida State has a less than 2% shot to land him. But I've already talked about Coleman, and I think Coleman is very much Florida State's to lose. Solidly.
Agreed on both.
Solidly, Florida State's to lose.
I think that kind of does it there on the football side of things, unless anybody has anything more in the comments before we move into a little bit of some basketball, because Austin's got his latest. He's coming out. He's getting out of the closet there a little bit. He's going to give us some updates.
Why do you have to phrase it like that?
I know.
You're in the closet.
I'm not.
You're
My
like halfway in the
closet.
closet. Just come out of the closet. You're halfway in it.
Do you want me to open? Never mind.
open the door to the closet.
I like the shirt, bro. I like the shirt.
Appreciate that. Shout out David Nichols for the BGU brand.
Oh yeah, we had him on here. We got. I would rep
This
it.
year alum.
I need to get one of those. We'd rep it. But yeah, give us the latest on basketball. Obviously, right? I think, God, I forget when we were recording, but Terence Mann absolutely went worldwide and blew up right in front of the whole country, the whole world to see. But some cool stuff happening for Mann right now.
Yeah, and it's now officially dubbed the Terence Mann game, depending on who you talk to. Game 6 at home against the Jazz, if they lose a game, they're going to Game 7 at Utah. Puts up 39 points, a career high not only in the playoffs, not only in the NBA, but in college as well. The most he scored was 30 against Georgia Tech. He was just killing people. You start with this dunk right here. Put back on Gobert in the first 2 minutes of the game. I think he had 6 points in the first 2 or 3 minutes. They were down 20-25 at half, and for some reason, they just kept leaving Terence open in the corner. That's part of what Utah does is, when a team goes small ball, they just choose to leave Gobert out there, and they stuck him on Terence, and Terence made him pay again, time after time. Was 7 of 10 from 3. He was just doing typical Terence Mann stuff, but he was actually hitting his shots, and that's going to be huge for him going forward in this league. Is continuing to make those shots when he has them, because confidence has never been his issue. I love this play where he pump fakes it off, gets the wide open look, nails it. I think that gave him 31 and 20 points in the quarter. He was just on fire all game. He really made people know who Terence Mann is, and he kind of put Florida State on the map a little bit because announcers kept talking. Terence Mann's from Florida State. Terence Mann from Florida State. It's a good thing going.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. Like I put it on in the second half, and like I think the first quarter, like T-Man had.
I think it was 9. I think he had 9 in the first quarter.
I want to say 12. Yeah, I want to say 12. So he had like 12 in the first quarter, and then he didn't really do much in the second. And then in the second half is when he just exploded on that comeback. And I mean, man, like you said, it was just insane. And I mean, he was just hitting every single corner 3 and then getting to the rim at will. And I mean, in a game where the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard, they had someone come out and play like Kawhi Leonard, and that was Terence Mann. So it was insane. And, Clippers fans everywhere, first ever conference finals appearance in franchise history. And a lot of it fell on the back of a second-year player out of Florida State. So it's amazing to me.
And not only a second-year player, a second-round pick in his second year. I mean, this is a guy that for most situations he's not playing right now because he's a second-rounder. In his second year to come out and put up 39 to tie all scorers. Donovan Mitchell also had 39.
I know. I was so mad. He made a late free throw.
Yeah, I wish Terence could have gotten that 41. Just so we could post that picture of him wearing 41 that one game at Florida State. But it was just so much fun to see. He deserves all of it. It was cool to see the first person to congratulate him after the game was Chet Forrest.
Love it, man. 2 guys that absolutely deserve love, but with Terence Mann happening right now and getting his time, there was so much love for Terence during his time at Florida State, and we got to see the effect of when he left, and Florida State's still doing its thing, but Terence Mann was one of the pivotal guys since a freshman coming in, and seeing that growth, he got to see Florida State beat to where it was today, and so to see him go on and do this at FSU, help grow that, and then get the chance of blowing up in front of the whole world to see, and obviously in this video right here, seems like he's a favorite, definitely, in that locker room.
And going, just like add on to the craziness of that T-Man game, he was 15 of 21. I don't know if you said it, but he was 15 of 21 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3. Going into that game, the entirety of the series, he was only 8 of 20 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3. So, I mean, what a game, T-Man.
And it's been interesting to see how they've dealt with him this series so far against Phoenix. He started the first game, doesn't start the second game because they go with Pat Bev to have him play defense on Booker. And now he's starting again game 3. Ty Lue's just He does this thing. I read an article with T-Man today when he was talking with Sports Illustrated about how Ty Lue just keeps these guys confident, keeps these guys motivated and ready. And we see it pay off in a game 6, and hopefully we see it pay off in another game this series. I'm just so happy for Terrence. You know, he's got some big things coming next season, no matter what happens.
Absolutely. Lead us into this next thing right here, which I thought was not crazy, not a real shocker. I think some people were thinking it was RayQuan Gray on Twitter, but RayQuan Evans, there's a report out today that he plans on returning to Florida State this upcoming next season.
Which isn't a surprise. I think I put it in the Discord over 2 months ago that he was expected to stay. After initially thinking he'd leave, you know, he had that really hot stretch in January where he had 20 plus points against, I think it was NC State. Had good games against Clemson. Played January really well. Rest of the season, kind of disappointed. But, at this point in an offseason where you're losing so many guys between MJ Walker, Scotty Barnes, RayQuan Gray, et cetera, you need some experience back, especially in the backcourt. There's no such thing as – there's no bad thing when a player returns, in my opinion, especially one with his kind of experience in the system. You can't expect to hand the program over to 2 guys who have never played for Florida State, and Caleb Mills and Jalen Worley. As talented as they are, you need someone with experience there.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Like you said, the experience is going to be good for that team. You've got a lot of youngins coming in, and there's been a kind of almost like not an overhaul, but it is a new team coming in. Some guys leaving, some that might have surprised us a little bit, but Evans, guy that was up and down last year. You got to hope that experience level will help him and being a pretty decent contributor for the team.
It'll help that he won't be as relied upon as the ball handler next year. Last year there's no true point guard. As great as Scotty is at playmaking for his size, he's not a true point guard. Next year you got Caleb Mills, Jalen Worley, both guys who can actually play the point guard. Evans won't be as relied upon. I think that'll be huge for him.
Evans, Dustin, wasn't that your one of your favorite guys from last year? I forget who it was. I think it was Dustin.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Our group chat every game. We won't bring it up. No reason to. But
favorite or least favorite?
I don't know. We'll see. It could change next year. Could change.
And real quick before we move on to the combine, we didn't have it written down, but Florida State got that game scheduled against South Carolina, neutral site, Rock Hill, South Carolina, which a lot of people are going to be like, why are we playing basically in South Carolina's backyard? Rock Hill's 45 minutes from USC's campus. Rock Hill is also really close to Charlotte. Charlotte's got a huge Florida State alumni base. I think it's going to be pretty good game. I obviously expect Florida State to win. South Carolina's got some talent, but it's not going to be one of those games where it's basically a South Carolina home game. There's a lot of Florida State people up here.
What year is that? Is that going to be next year?
This year. It's this December.
That's up. Okay.
Yeah,
sweet deal. Okay. So you're going to invite us to come up there and watch it with you?
If y'all want, that's fine.
Where am I staying at? So I'll probably take.
There's some hotels I can recommend.
Oh, I wasn't thinking when we were doing hotels. I was thinking, not home stay. What?
Come stay in your closet.
Nate got the Wi-Fi upgrade. We switched to phone. Marshall's giving you some.
No, he didn't. He's been disconnected like 4 times.
I know.
One was his phone dying. One was a power outage.
Yeah, there's like 50,000 things. It's almost like a circus show with this.
Why does everything happen on Thursday?
Everything's on Thursday nights on this show. That's what makes it fun, I guess, but makes me want to almost shoot myself multiple times, and my stress level goes up.
Well, I won't be here much longer. My phone's on 5%.
Don't you have a charger?
Well, I have my earphones in right now.
Yeah, get some wireless.
We gotta get. I'm gonna next. Oh my god.
I think this episode's almost over.
We should have known this, Austin. We should have known this, Austin, because he still has a home phone. He still has a home phone.
To be fair, the only person I know that also has a home phone is my grandma. So congratulations.
Hey, smart woman.
I don't even think my parents have a home phone anymore.
No, I don't even remember having one 8 years ago.
and they're like almost 60.
That's great. They probably don't know how to use a cell phone.
Ugh.
They
I
probably
can
have
probably
that.
use it better than you.
I don't think so.
Yikes.
Dang. Austin, before we just start killing each other, let's finish this off. Give us this update with the NBA Combine. There's a few things. Scotty Barnes is blowing up. His stats look great, and his body length and size of his fingers look awesome. Give us
I was going to say, I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm going to mute myself. Bye.
But Scotty measured in just as a freak at, little over 6'7". I think it was 6'7 3/4 with a almost 7'3" wingspan, which is insane for someone that's probably going to play power forward in the NBA. He's one of those guys that's looking to get in what they're calling the Power 5 for this draft class. The first 4 players are pretty much solidified with Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, Evan Mobley, and obviously Cade Cunningham. That fifth spot's up for grabs between Barnes, Jonathan Kuminga. There's a couple of the guys that people are talking about for that fifth slot. Scotty could absolutely work his way up there, and the way he's testing so far, he was second in the shuttle run across all players at 2.99 seconds, which is insane for someone of his size. Was tied for third in standing vertical at 36 inches. Just showing he's got that athleticism that's going to be needed at the next level. So that's something people have been talking about. You'll see here and there he doesn't have explosive athleticism, which I don't quite see. I think it shows up very obviously on tape that he's got the athleticism. Really, with him, it's just how his offensive game develops. The way the draft lottery worked out, those teams at 6 and 7, Oklahoma's, OKC, and Golden State, those are both perfect fits for him right now.
So, I mean, I still think he could work in that top 4 if he has a great combine.
Maybe. I mean, Cade Cunningham's going number 1. And talking with someone with one of the teams that's in the top 3, they expect the top 3 to go in some order of Cunningham, Mobley, and Jalen Green. Then after that, if Toronto really falls in love with Scotty, I could see it. Yeah. If they feel they want to move on from OG Anunoby, I could see it.
I was surprised Suggs wouldn't be in that top 4.
I actually like Suggs a little bit more than Green. I was talking about it with the same guy who they're in love with. I'm not as sold on as Jalen Green. In the G League, he had a usage rate of 30%. So if he was to go to a team like, say, Cleveland, where he's having to work off of, other high usage guys like Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, how effective would he be? That's something like that. Those are the kind of questions I have. Obviously, he's superbly talented, but we'll see. I think Scotty would fit in better with Cleveland, but Jalen Green obviously has the higher upside. Just the way the league's going right now. I think he'd be perfect in Golden State.
Even go in top 6, 7. I think it's a better draft than last year. Especially at the top.
Yeah, at the top. I think last year's draft class didn't get the credit it deserved for. Yeah, last year's draft class didn't get the credit it deserved for being as deep as it was. This year's a little bit more top heavy. But if Scotty could go to Golden State, learn behind Draymond Green for a couple years, and then emerges that small ball 5, I think he's going to have a very long career. What would suck is if he goes to Orlando, where they need scoring, they already don't have a lot of spacing. Then you're looking at a not so stellar career, in my opinion. But we'll see.
This is a funny video. I didn't even see this today, but this was 9:14.
Hey, this just happened.
This just happened. He got a half-court shot with one hand while he's at the NBA Combine. Swish! Half-court. I love the other guy's reaction just looking at him.
And then the other guy that's there, obviously people were talking about it when we were talking about Evans, but RayQuan Gray, he's been testing at the Combine as well. Obviously didn't test as well as Scotty Barnes because very few people did. The biggest thing with him was he measured in at just under 6'7" and 268 pounds, which his listed stuff for last season was 6'8", 260. So may have put on a little bit more weight. Obviously, teams are going to lie about players' height. Every team does it. It's more that weight thing where, is it muscle weight? I know he measured in at like 17% body fat, which is high for an NBA player, but he's shown throughout his career that he knows how to use it. So that's going to be the biggest talking point for him. He didn't have a great first scrimmage. I think it was 7 points, a couple assists, a couple rebounds, was like 3 of 7 from the floor. 7 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, a block, 3 of 9 from the floor. He's at this point, he's probably going to get drafted, but where, who knows?
I would love to go back to Scotty real quick. I'll take him at the Warriors.
I think it's the ideal fit, in my opinion.
I really think that I would get more invested into the NBA if I had a former Noel at my favorite team. I think that's what what would I have to do? Either that or I'm going to have to like move somewhere where it's NBA heavy, you got a good team, and I'm able to root for one. But it would have to be San Francisco, but I think I would most certainly. Where are the Warriors? 7, 8?
7. Which that's gonna be as far as I've seen that I'll see Scotty fall. I've already seen that the Warriors have had conversations with him at the Combine in Chicago. I don't see him falling past 7, but right now I've seen him mocked as high as 5 to Orlando, which I really hope doesn't happen for his sake.
Sounds like he's been getting a lot of love from OKC, especially their media members.
Yeah, he has. To me, as long as he goes to OKC or Golden State, it's going to be the right fit for him because OKC is very similar. He's not going to be as relied upon to score and play make because they already have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they just traded for Kemba Walker, 2 guys that can play make. He doesn't have to do it. If he's going to Orlando, you have Cole Anthony, you have Markelle Fultz, but they just have no spacing. Like a guy like Jalen Green would be perfect if he could somehow get to Orlando. If they want to trade up, given that they have both 5 and 8, I could see it happening. If he goes to Orlando, it's going to be such a weird fit, just the way the NBA is going right now.
To finish off this show, I mean, why not just call Dabo Swinney a clown? That's probably the best way you can finish any kind of FSU podcast. But thank you, Georgia Ron, for the comment here on YouTube saying Dabo Swinney is the circus. He is a clown. So that's I think that's the perfect way to end off this episode. Unless anybody has anything they want to shout out their family members or talk about what they're doing this weekend.
Shout out Austin's mom.
All right.
Alrighty.
That was a low blow.
Yeah, I don't understand why that one happened. But anyways.
Very low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up, Dustin. You have to send an apology after this to him in a text. So,
how about an edible arrangement?
Bananas, since he's in. Never mind. All right, I got to get off. Since you're. Never mind.
I'm not. I'm not.
Anyways. Yeah. Anyways. Let's finish this off. Thanks so much for listening. If you guys aren't in the Discord yet, we got tons of recruiting coverage that Nate and Dustin are bringing. A lot of things going on in there. Some quotes we post there before it goes anywhere else. You can join that at patreon.com/NoelGameDay. And once you join, it will give you all the instructions of joining the Discord, where we have over about 10,000 messages sent a week, which is insane, but it's crazy to think that's happening during the offseason, but it's only going to ramp up once we get closer into July and August. It's going to be crazy in September. So make sure you guys go join now. Take advantage of that and getting some inside scoop of what we might not be sharing publicly on here that we got to keep private. And then also you can listen on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, I would definitely appreciate it if you hit that like button. And also hit that subscribe button. We're seeing a lot of growth over here, so we definitely appreciate all you YouTube people hanging out with us. But a simple like or definitely subscribing would mean a lot to us. But yeah, definitely appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Enjoy the weekend. And we will talk to you guys next week on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great one. Bye, Austin. His mom. Bye, Austin's mom.